Okay, Diablo Immortal has been out for a day on mobile. It hits PC later on today. In some ways, it's actually a marvelous Blizzard game, but in other ways, it does mean that the Blizzard name is well and truly dead. And by saying that, I mean, you can no longer really... Oh, people would argue that ship sailed, but in a way, you can't take the Blizzard name as being a guarantee of certain things. Because this game, while it is a very well-developed game, that is very fun to play, with a gargantuan amount of content, it is unfortunately monetized in a predatory, disgusting manner, and it's time for me and Matt to talk about it, because we've both played slightly different formats, which I think will be useful for the audience, because for me, I basically played it like it was a console game. I hooked my iPad up to my monitor, just pop a USB-C cable in, I connected a gamepad, I set the graphics settings all to their highest, 60 FPS, and there I am playing it on, on this big monitor, very crisp image, gameplay that's extremely smooth, whereas you tried mobile and your iPad.
Yeah, so I played the way kind of intended, you're sitting there with your phone, obviously not set up, but, leaned over like a gremlin, as obviously people kind of tend to do. That's, if gamers who sit in their chairs look bad, mobile gamers are going to be pretty grim in the future. But yeah, tried it on mobile and 60 FPS, set the settings to low to conserve battery, still looked pretty good. I was happy enough, played for a couple hours like that. Then I moved to my iPad and played with the Ghoulie Kit controller that I was talking about on the channel a while ago. And that was also just a pretty good experience. Played it on medium to conserve battery life, but 60 FPS, and it looked pretty good. It's a Diablo game. I was like, oh, this just feels like playing Diablo 3, except for the fact that it's trying to sell me something every 35 seconds. That's an exaggeration, but it certainly feels that way.
Yeah, and that was my first experience as well. It just immediately, I'm back playing Diablo 3. That is something I enjoy. For D3, I'd play the campaigns maybe once or twice, or go up to the harder difficulty mode, do a little bit of an endgame grind, do a few rifts, whatever, and then I generally stop because I'm not that kind of seasonal ARPG player. And I immediately got all of the same brain things massaged by this game, right? You kill something, loot explodes, assuming you have auto loot turned on, you hoover it all up, you put your new gear on, you keep on going. And at least for the Demon Hunter, it is super fun. It maps onto a gamepad really well. The control scheme is actually, I wouldn't say innovative, because a lot of these are a long-term solved problem in the mobile front, including for games that NetEase have done before. Because this is a co-development between Blizzard Entertainment and NetEase. But at least what it means is even when I'm playing it on the gamepad, there are times where doing twin stick and face buttons, because you'd be using one stick to aim some of your aimed abilities, that would be a bit weird to do with your hands.
Possible, yeah.
But the amount of just, it assumes the right place to aim. So yeah, it's an aimed button, but if you just tap, it'll kind of go in the direction you're facing or whatever. All of that works really well. It just feels so smooth to play. And just like a Diablo game, it's Moorish. You just keep on going.
It is exceedingly addictive in terms of how the actual gameplay design feels. Like all of the kind of hidden things that you don't really notice so much until they're off, like the pacing of, your quests, the pacing of combat, how long a dungeon feels to take, how long like an Elder Rift feels like it's going to take. That stuff's like 3 to 5 minutes, probably faster if you're good, better gear, but it's all that kind of very nice session time. All those little solved things that you go, oh yeah, I blinked and I've been playing this for 6 hours and I don't really know why, but I had fun the whole time. That's exactly what they've really very much nailed. Some of that might be NetEase having experience in the genre, some of that might be the Blizzard polish from the Diablo team, but either way, it is just a Diablo game that feels fantastic.
Like the atmosphere is great. The voicing, fucking Deckard Cain's back. He's there. It's a Diablo game. It really is.
Yeah. Outside of the fact that if you're running it on lower settings for your mobile to actually run it, it is just kind of like not an extremely high budget AAA game like we know them now. It's no like Last of Us Part 2 or Horizon Forbidden West or anything like that. But it does feel like a Blizzard game. It probably looks better than Diablo 3 at times, for sure. It's nuts.
Yeah, so that stuff is all just marvelously done. Like the actual development team of this game have done a marvelous job.
Oh, they've nailed it in every way, yep.
Yeah, and of course, we still have to put a pin in this and say, hang on a second.
Yeah.
The monetization is disgusting. And the monetization has ruined the Blizzard name in a way. And they can never walk back from this because it is that form of monetization with the Blizzard name. You look at Hearthstone, you're like, oh, those cosmetics are a bit dumb, and oh yeah, it's a CCG, that can get a bit rumbly. You look at Warcraft Arclight Rumble, where yes, you can pay for some faster progression, but broadly, it is not considered to be an excessively monetized game. And then, which we'll get onto soon, look at Diablo Immortal, and you become shocked.
They have straight up just taken the mask off. They're not trying to hide anything anymore. They're not even trying to pretend that this isn't a game for whales to throw their money into. They're just like, yeah, from day one, from the first second you log in, yeah, here's every trick in the book, every single tactic that is researched for making you give them your money is there.
Yeah. I mean, why make World of Warcraft when you can take money from people in a game like this that had 30 million pre-registrations? And I suppose the shocking thing, you look at Call of Duty Warzone, you look at Call of Duty Mobile, relatively innocent in their monetization, right? Yeah, you know, you look at some of these big mobile free-to-play games that have actually came out, and like they're not that bad. Like COD Mobile is, or at least when I played it at launch, and at least if we're doing apples to apples here, you know, launch of COD Mobile to launch this, it's insane. COD Mobile, you hop in, you're like, okay, I can see how you want me to give you money, but I'm just playing this and it's really fun. And it's obviously not really that pay to win because you'd ruin COD if you did that. But you look at this and it's crazy. So, of course, it's a mobile game. And the way that they do things in mobile games is they kind of get you used to certain things. Because what they want to do, this all goes to, you know, your man to Rolf, who gave the infamous monetization talk. So, you know, they're giving you their little samplers. Little things like your daily free bonus. You know, you don't get that from a normal button in the UI. That's contained inside the store because they want to train you to go to the store. And as time goes on, it's all about training that to get these things will take time. Alternatively, you could spend some money and you will get those things far faster. Time is money. Just that what's funny here is that time is money in a game like Lost Ark just means you're kind of buying those various different materials off the market board. So this game does actually have some of that market board stuff.
Yeah.
What's funny is that it goes and does everything else. I don't want to say that this makes Lost Ark look like a Sony blockbuster premium that costs £70. In a few ways, it almost does.
Yeah, I mean, like, Lost Ark, I think, took a pretty bad rap from a lot of people for having, like, the pay for convenience, pay to skip stuff, and then also having a bunch of cosmetics on the side and all that. But it was easy mode compared to this. Yeah. Like, that's a game that is... They learned that they had to support their free-to-play players better, and they eased up on the time requirements, they eased up on the monetization requirements over time, and that led to better stuff. But if anyone at NetEase has learned these lessons, I don't know if they're super here, because this is really aggressively monetized from the get-go, and in ways that you've kind of got multiple tracks of progression, and one of them is just solidly, here's a massive wall of time. You can skip this unlimitedly, freely. You just need to give us about £2 a pop. And that's like, it's really hard to describe how much that is just, you know, it's just putting £2 in the machine to play a game.
Quite literally, because the loot boxes in this game are ones that you go inside and fight demons in, basically.
Yeah, so if you know the rifts from any of the Diablo games, or I can't remember the similar concept in PoE, but, you know, you go in, kill a pile of monsters, boss spawns, kill that, sorted in out a couple minutes. The way it works is you get these things called crests, and you add them to the rift when it spawns, and that gives you gives modifiers, but also gives you the chance of dropping a legendary gem, which is this, like, basically one of this core parts of progression. You get these legendary gems of different ranks and different types. You combine them into each other. You upgrade them by smashing one up and putting it into the other. All that kind of proper, you know, you need 400 of these to make one really strong kind of feel. And these crests, the rare crests, give you, I think, a data amount of 5% chance of getting a legendary gem of rank 1. Or you can use a legendary crest, which is the one that you get like 1 or 2 a month if you're a free player, but you can buy them for £2 a pop all day long. And that's what makes the Elder Rift be, oh, you're getting this little bit of gameplay. And then if you just give a little bit of money when you're getting into this little gameplay session, then you get the big, juicy hit of progress.
Yeah, and like how many of these... Like if you were doing... I'm trying to think what is a realistic number of legendary crest rift runs you could do per hour.
But per hour, I think if you went like slow, you could probably get 15 maybe.
Each one of those is £2.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. That would be for like a hyper whale, buying them all. You don't have to do that. You can run them with just rare crests, which you get at least one a day and more, like kind of regularly, because that's the kind of, you play the game with the item for the low chance, but you cough up for the big chance.
Yeah.
And that's how it feels.
Now, there's a lot more than just
So
that.
much more than that.
That's the thing. So, number one, when you log in, it gives you this one-time bundle for 89p. This contains a cosmetic and 60 orbs. Now, orbs are your basic premium currency. You purchase the legendary crests with orbs. Now, Matt, how much is a legendary crest?
Legendary crest is 160 orbs.
And is it actually possible for you to buy anything with the 89p 60 orbs?
No. No, you can't. You can't buy anything with 60 orbs. Then
why are they selling you 60? I freaking wonder.
Because then when they give you the bundle that you unlock for beating the first dungeon, the one-time only Mad King's Treasure Trove bundle.
The Mad King's Oh my god, wow.
Yeah. Whenever they give you that, whenever they give you that, then the other 60 orbs are in there. So you get another 60 orbs for another 90p. And then you're like, oh, well, I've just paid 90p twice. And I didn't feel it because I'm a modern gamer. And I have my phone, and I have my phone hooked up to Apple Pay. So I just went, oh, Face ID. Oh, yeah. 90p. Yeah. And then you do that twice, 120 orbs. Do that a third time, now you've got more orbs. It's wonderful.
And,
it's
you know,
wonderful.
I actually got so animated that I created a screen shake that set your set your camera off kilter. Yep. That's just how incredible things are with Diablo Immortal.
Yeah.
Yeah, so all of that is just like the usual, you know, always giving you a bundle, always giving you a deal. That continues as you play, but there is, of course, more. Now, you do have a free battle pass with plenty of rewards, but then you've got the premium battle pass. That has better rewards, yeah! But then,
substantially better too.
The super premium battle pass. That also gives you cosmetics and boosts as you go up the track, but it's about £13, which is, what's that, like $15, $19?
Yeah, the press run, I am.
Of course, that's a battle pass that fully expires at the end of the season. So, if you take the one game that tried to innovate in the battle pass format is Halo Infinite, right? So you see if you buy the battle pass in Halo Infinite, and then the new season happens, that's fine. You don't lose the battle pass that you bought, even if you only half completed it. You can always swap back to that to keep on progressing it. And that basically means that 343 is never going to ask you for battle pass money and then take the rewards away because you didn't get it in time. So here, it is, of course, fully possible to throw your money in and, you know, life happens. You miss out on a substantial amount of the value. But, of course, there is more. Now, we usually pay, isn't it, $9.99 for a World of Warcraft subscription?
Yes.
Well, for £9 a month, we can get the boon of plenty. Now, this drip feeds us some nice valuable rewards and gives us some really good to have bonuses like extra inventory space. And being a Diablo game, that's going to feel pretty good.
Yeah, you get a substantial amount of extra inventory space. You get the ability to, from anywhere in your inventory, you can go to the market, which you can sell items to other players for platinum, which is a different in-game currency, which you buy with Eternal Orbs. So you don't buy platinum with money, you buy Eternal Orbs, and then you buy platinum with Eternal Orbs, and that's it. But that's a kind of aside. This is the thing where this is like very rewarding money-wise, right? You get a couple of legendary gems over the course of a month, and you get 7 legendary crests. So this is definitely a high value option. If you want to be efficient with your spending in Diablo Immortal, which you probably shouldn't have to be in general in a video game, efficient with spending. If you want to be efficient with your spending, you'll get the boon of plenty. I think the first game I saw this in was Genshin, where you had the Welkin Blessing or something.
Yeah.
And it gave you a couple Primo Gems every day for a month. And I was like, oh, that's a pretty nice thing. But it's just, hey, we'll keep you in here for a month by giving you a better value option. And it's just, there you go. Here's all your legendary gems, which are just player power. Does you want to give us £9 a month and we'll give you stuff that makes you more powerful? Sweet, go for it.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Now, of course, there's lots of games like League of Legends, Heroes of the Storm, that are primarily monetized based on your cosmetics. And don't worry, that's here too. Full armor sets are about 15 to 20 pounds each. That's like $20 to $25 maybe.
Yeah.
You know, regional pricing, who knows? It could just be 15 to 20 bucks, whatever. But basically, yeah, it's not cheap cosmetics. It is premium as hell cosmetics.
Yeah, they're full armor sets that you can only use on one character, by the way.
Yeah.
So if you're well, this is where the design stuff comes in, because all of the like hyper progress games need you to progress one character, but Diablo's traditionally been a multi-character, lots of alts, have loads of different fun on class stuff. They will bring in a class change for your main to deal with that, but that's not in yet. So it feels kind of weird for people to go, you buy them for one character. So if I'm playing two characters and I want the cosmetics, I have to buy them twice. That's really grim. But it's like the reason it's 15 to 20 there is because there are two versions. There's the regular standard normal Joe per person cosmetic, which costs 15 quid.
Okay.
Then there's that's in not money, that's in orbs. That's in the equivalent of eternal orbs.
Yeah.
You can't buy enough orbs to get it outright. You have to buy weird combos, of course.
Right, it's
as
just
always.
like buying our Microsoft points back in the day to get our Skyrim or our Oblivion DLC. I remember it well.
Exactly. So the more expensive version comes with, I think generally it's literally only a portal. Only a different like color or cosmetic version of the town portal that you'll use at the end of a dungeon or rift to get home. And that makes it cost an extra 50%.
Whaling.
Wow. Yeah. Whaling.
That sure is something. So
look at the sharpest harpoons in the business.
all of this is disgusting, but now we really have to talk about Greg 2G's research into just how expensive this can get. Because that guy that spent 14 grand on Mass Effect 3 loot boxes,
Weak.
gonna love this game. All right. So basically, your power in this game comes from three places. You've got your level, you've got your equipment, and you've got the legendary gems. Now, your level's just your level. Equipment is equipment, so, you do stuff in the game, you get the gear, and then you deterministically upgrade the gear through, all the ways you do that.
All the resources you get through playing this
Yeah,
stuff, doing
and
your
there are
dailies and stuff.
some nice things, too. Like, you can sort of transfer your upgrades from one thing to another thing, so you don't have a big loss of resources, and that does feel pretty good, so that's great.
Yep.
But legendary gems is the part of this puzzle that they have, oh boy, humongously tried to make the money out of, and this is where you can get some serious power. So we've got the Elder Rifts, right, where you put a crest in, you get a chance of a legendary gem. The rare crests have a small percent chance, and the legendary crests guarantee that chance. Now, you get 1, 2, maybe 3 legendary crests a month on free-to-play, and you can buy them for 160 orbs at any time that you want. Yeah. Now, the rare crests, which are the ones that you kind of get more frequently, those are capped at a 2-star legendary gem. That's the best you can get from them. Because it's not just legendary gems, they of course have star ratings.
Of course, yeah.
So legendary crests, though, they can drop up to a 5-star legendary gem. That's a 597% value.
Yeah.
This actually feels like a friggin' telemarketing skit or something. So all of the stats and the effects on these gems, of course, scale up with the star rank.
Pretty aggressively, too.
Yeah. And what Greg 2G's sort of deep dive into this found is most free-to-play players will never see a 5-star gem.
The 5 stars you can't even upgrade to, because the upgrades of gems are ranks. So you go up to from rank 1 to 10. You cannot get a 2-star gem any higher. If something drops from a rare crest...
Oh, wow. Okay, good. It's even worse.
You can't get it any higher. You literally, if you want the best power in the game, you have to use legendary crests, which you, at the minute, based on, a little bit of looking into, there's you can buy one a month from a shop for different resources, for in-game resources, a legendary crest. You get one from the battle pass, and they give you one when you start playing. That's the only way I've seen of getting these legendary crests. You can also craft legendary gems of 1 to 5 stars, but the crafting is really expensive and drip fed of backup resources. So that's not a reliable way. You could maybe eventually do it, but that will be a substantial amount of time and luck to get that to happen.
But thankfully, Matt,
Yeah.
there's a pity system.
Ooh.
You know, they want to support their players, right? And they don't want people to have a bad experience. And I just appreciate that. I'm so excited for the Pretty system, where for $100, okay, so the Pity system is at 50, right? So if you go like 50 runs with no 5-star gem, they're going to give you one.
Yeah, 50 legendary crests, that is.
Yeah, sorry, 50 crests, yeah. Now the thing is that in terms of the purchase bundles, $100 is 45 crests.
Yeah.
So you have to do slightly more. Awesome. Now that might not even be...
yeah, it gets worse.
yeah, that might not even be a 5 out of 5. It might be a 2 out of 5.
Yeah.
In which case you then need more gems to upgrade.
Yeah, so it's not as simple as, oh, this is a 1-star, 2-star, 3-star, 4-star, 5-star. The ones that drop from legendary quests can be a 1 out of 1, a 2 out of 2, or a 2, 3, 4, 5 out of 5. Which then means you need to get other gems that are out of 5 to combine them in to be a full 5-star. Which means that if you, like, the data mine drop rates are that 0.05% chance of getting a 5 out of 5. Cumulatively, you've got a 5% chance of getting a 5-star gem, but then you need more of them to actually get into that. And the weighting is really bad, so you've got such a massive 75% chance of getting a 1-star gem. So it's not even like you're guaranteed something for your money. You're giving a chance of something because you bought a legendary crest.
Oh, this is
And
so
like I
bad.
said, those are 160 orbs. If you buy 60 orbs, that's about 90p, about $1. So you're looking at about $2.50, $3 worth of currency at the cheapest rates to get one legendary crest, which gives you about a 5-10% chance of getting an item that you could only get from that. And all of this leads directly into player power.
Yeah.
This is the stats that matter in PvP. The stats from gear and level and Paragon level don't matter that much in PvP. They're capped. Legendary gem bonuses aren't.
Do you know what's really funny? There's 2 more systems that tie into this that we
Yeah.
haven't even talked about
No,
yet.
we don't.
To wrap up this, like as an example, so the first rank of the Battle Pass track is a 2-star gem, the paid one, that is basically it's better than what you're realistically getting as a
Yeah.
free-to-play character. And that very same gem is actually at the very end of the free track. And of course also at the end of the paid track as well. So, you know, it's all about, you want to upgrade that track. They want you to do that.
Yeah.
Stuff's wild. So, as an example, this would get you up to 8% damage from its effect, but it also increases resonance. And that would give you 3% extra stats from all sources.
Yep.
Now, what is resonance and what is awakening? These 2 other systems we have to talk about that tie into these fucking gems.
Yeah, so far, everything that's been here is like technically available through free to play, right? Technically. If you have 400 million years to play this game, then you'll be able to do this, but it's still pretty difficult. You'll get some sort of power. But there's the awakening system that is literally, as it was, not maybe sure right now because no one's reached that point, but on beta it was hard cap behind money. And that is, you know, you get little bonuses like 10% cooldown reduction to a skill, or maybe a skill does 10% extra AoE damage, something like that. A nice little skill that's benefit, that little benefit bonus, put it on your gear. Usually you get that in game through some capacity. In this, it's the awakening system, and to do that, you have to get a max rank gem, which is a lot of time, a lot of effort. It doesn't really matter what star, just whatever it is. And then you have to literally give them money. The same price that cosmetics, 1,000 gems. You need, or 1,000 orbs rather. You need to get this thing called a Dawning Echo, and that will let you awaken your gear to get somewhere between a 10 to 30% cooldown reduction on a skill.
Okay, so by default, I'm actually earning sleepy gear as a player.
Yes.
And I have to pay money to wake my gear up.
Exactly, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you literally...
That's
now,
cool.
I'm not sure if this is a one-time Dawning Echo or you have to buy it per piece of gear. Everything I was reading suggested it was per piece of gear because this is an item you buy and use. So I'm hoping that's not the case. But there is a chance you could just have to pay 15 quid or $16 to just make your gear better once you've grinded enough or earned enough legendary gems to fuse them all together to upgrade them.
But obviously, it's not enough just to be awake. You also have to be resonant.
Yeah, we're aware this is absurd. This is genuinely absurd.
Yes, as I put it earlier, this is like one of those cryptocurrency skits at the start of a Red Letter Media episode.
I feel I've
But
lost my
they've
mind.
actually made a game out of it.
Yeah. It's crazy.
So, Gem Resonance. You add specific gems to slots on your max ranked awakened gems to get even more bonus stats.
Yeah.
So in total, you can get, up to 450% bonus life and damage. Also adds new cosmetic effects. And the high-end cosmetic effects are actually going to cost you 6 figures if you whale it.
Yeah. So
Or it just would take you theoretically a few years of dailies.
I think
Years!
yeah.
Hundreds of days! Thousands of days!
Yeah, we're not talking years like a year and a bit or 2 years. The numbers being floated are like a decade to fully resonate something. It is honestly completely
A
insane.
decade of content for free? Huh, they're saints.
Yeah, and so those images there are literally like, that's from the blog post where they're like, here's how your cosmetics and stuff work. Here's how you'll get to look and, was this like transform your immortal or something the blog post was titled. They're like, here's what it looks like a resonant, and you can see, because Greg2G covered this in his video as well, you're like, yeah, the one on the left is like, yeah, that's the peasant color, that's the peasant armor. The one on the right is the big armor for the big money whale, the cool person. And that is straight up just, you have to engage with this deeply random system of tons and tons and tons of different gems, merging them together, smashing them together, praying for RNG, while also running Elder Rift to get this. You actually have to play the game. You can't just open loot boxes, which is probably a bonus, to be honest. You actually are forced to engage with the game, and then you get to see your nice big shiny red armor, your shiny blue armor.
This is like Blizzard saying, hey, you get the LFR version of the gear in World of Warcraft, and that's just what it looks like. But if you run LFR for a decade straight every single day, we'll give you the mythic version. That's incredible.
Yeah.
Now, this is what I love. The Reddit post that just says there's a single stat that costs $50,000. Now, it's just because that's like the stat you get at the very end.
Yeah.
But you know what? I'll read it out because it's friggin' hilarious. Long story short, it's about 40 to 45 grand to fully max out 6 5-star gems to rank 10 right now. 5% drop rate, you need 100 of each plus the corresponding gem power. If there's 8 different, then that's 800 gems, assuming you loot an average of 100 each. And if there's 10 at launch, that's 1,000 gems. 1,000 would be 20,000 crests, which is about $45,000. In order to go from 40 out of 50 to 50 out of 50 in your 5 gems resonating boards, you would have to spend about another 50 to 60 grand. In essence, one stat, the final resonating bonus would theoretically be 50 grand and put your total at a little over 100 grand. But there's an update. Update, we now know what one of the 2 stats is, and it's hilariously bad compared to the cost to max these. The final 50 out of 50 bonus is 1% reduced incoming damage. So that was a hilarious Reddit post.
$100,000 to max out your character. That is literally, like, that's something you can do. That's based on average probability, so you could have bad luck and have to spend more than that, or you could get good luck and have to spend less. But that's it. That is literally, obviously there's the whole like getting the right gear part of the game.
Yes.
Which is more in line with the traditional Diablo loop of go kill the monsters. There's also stuff for the Heraldric Legacy Cube or whatever. No, the Reliquary, that I don't think people have understood very much yet because we haven't got into that much in beta, because there's so much stuff to this game that's all end-game loop. That's crazy. And no one really understands. We don't understand the depth of this. We only figured out at the end of beta that this was going to be $100,000 to fully max out your character. $100,000 of things that cost £2 a pop. That's not just $100,000, because if that's 1,000, if that's 2,000 gems, that's 2,000 runs of the Elder Rift as well.
Yeah.
That's a lot of time. That's a hell of a lot of time.
Yeah, it's just, this game's mad. Straight mad.
It's like they just full mask off.
Yeah.
Just full, this is a NetEase game for NetEase ARPG players. We're going to try to wheel like crazy. We're going to try to abuse the Diablo name to make millions and millions and millions off people. And it's like, just the pay to win stuff. I don't mind a game being a piece of shit, right? In terms of this, that much. But it's when it's combined with all of the other psychological abuse and all of the other little ways they worm you in and get into your head and get you to do your dailies get your first kill of the day reward, do your 8 bounties every day for your little bit of stuff. It's like in conjunction, all these things are like, it's kind of hard to describe, but it's almost like the perfect distillation of pure stealing your wallet from you by psychologically manipulating you. Everything just works in perfect conjunction. This is like 95% alcohol by volume distillation. This is the moonshine of pay to win, basically. It's the moonshine, the pot chain for anyone from Ireland. That's, oh my fuck.
Yeah, they've done it all. And it's just sad because it's a really fun game.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I was playing it on, it's like a 27-inch monitor, so I just plugged my iPad into that, and I was playing it up on the monitor. It felt really good in the controller. It ran really smooth. The Demon Hunter's, like, initial ability set was, like, you know, simple, but, like, quite fun. It had all the punch. It had all of what you'd want from Diablo. It's just, this is horrible. And I think you put it perfectly before we hit live, when we were just talking to the guys. Warcraft Arclight Rumble is Blizzard making a king game. This is Blizzard meets NetEase fully. I remember there being stories about one of NetEase's action RPGs like having a lot of drama in the Chinese market because players there were just fed up at how pay to win it was, and they felt like to stay competitive they were being asked to put in, you know, stupid amounts of money. And, you know, they were even super frustrated at that. And I think some of those things are like just a little bit more normalized in that market. So even for a market where this sort of thing is normal, they were getting furious.
Yeah.
I guess here we go again.
Yeah. And no, obviously, look, there's people who are going to, you know, look at this and go, well, you don't have to give any money, right? You can just play the whole game, all the 20 hours or so, because they say the story's 20 hours and they'll update in future. You can, you know, hop in every once in a while, play a couple hours, have good Diablo content. Well, that's spending a penny. Yeah, you can. That's completely a thing people can do. But that doesn't take away from the fact that this is designed to basically worm its way into everyone's head. Especially when, you know, you think about all of the talk about, you know, especially in the UK with FIFA and FIFA Ultimate Team coinciding with a really terrible sports gambling, like almost epidemic.
Yeah.
In the country, you're like, well, yeah, is this... It gets to the point where I'm like, this to me, this feels no longer like they're just trying to make money in a pretty dickish way. To me, it's like, this is just breaching the bounds of unethical. That's the way I feel about it. And the fact that Blizzard are like, yeah, it's fine. This is our game. Here's the big exciting Blizzard game they're releasing. It's literally designed to take thousands of dollars away from people. Especially, you know, with no recompense, no recourse, no limiting factor. None whatsoever. It is purely designed for whales to get into arms races with each other.
Yeah.
And it's like, does that matter to most people? No. But, you know, one day you'll wake up and you'll have spent 10 or 20 quid, 30 quid. And you'll think, man.
I think what matters is like, this is how they plan and want to make money from this.
Yeah.
And that's ultimately what it means.
Yep.
There's other games where their plan to make money from the game is that you buy the game and it's really good and you're happy with the game.
Perfect.
And then you buy the sequel. Or, you know, maybe you buy a little cosmetic for it or something. Whereas the way they plan to make money from this game is what we've outlined here. And that's their intent. Right? And that just tells you everything you need to know.
Yeah. They're no longer in the market of saying, hello, dear gamer. Here's a product. We've created it. Would you like to purchase it? And then you as a gamer get to go, I will purchase that. That will be fantastic. Thank you. Or, no, that is not to my taste. Thank you. I will have, you know, what else have you got on your shopping cart of video games? Now it's like you're being invited in to like a party and then someone's trying to steal your wallet the entire time, and that's the business model. It's no longer this thing that is, you know, mutual trust on both sides of the like till, I guess, or the cashier. There's just hoodwinking, psychological manipulation. And some of it's just like so standard. But even we'll probably talk about another video, but the whole stack of stuff they do to get you in the door. Literally the list of things of, here's a psychological handbook on how to manipulate people. Implement all of them, please. That's how they operate. Vile. It's vile, and I feel bad for the developers who have to see people talking like this.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, it's just disgusting, and that's the video. That's the takeaway. This is a black mark on Blizzard. This is shameful, and that's all there is to it. I guess I'll say you might see a bunch of streamers whale this game. You know, you might see some of that go on. And I think maybe a final thing, maybe we can talk about this in another video, but between some of the way that streamers play these games, and, you know, we accept Lost Ark, and then Lost Ark gets to be this pay-to-win, but extremely successful game. And then other games come out, and they are, you know, they're always just taking a little bit more ground, a little bit more ground. You know, they're eroding how reasonable normal is.
Full
because normal just gets more and more and more and more and more pay to win. And, you know, there's genres where they can't go pay to win, like a shooter, because you do that and it doesn't work anymore. But genres like this.
That's the other part that I kind of want to talk about very, very briefly. This monetization is this isn't added on top. Because that's the stuff that people were annoyed about back in the day. It's like, horse armor DLC, well, fuck, I'm paying more money for a bit of shit in my game that should be there. That's so milquetoast. That's so far away from where we've gotten to. We're now in the realm of, now there is, like, this parasitic design of monetization is fully linked with the game design. It is fully hooked in. It is irremovable from getting legendary gems.
Yeah, but
in the same way in Lost Ark, the material is literally there. It's designed that way. They can go, we will make honing harder. And obviously that would have some other impact. But to whales, that would go, I spend more money then.
Imagine a competitive obstacle course and escape room with contactless payment pads all over the place to go through things faster.
That's what this game is.
That's what it is. You just maybe won't think of it that way because it happens on your phone. That is what it is.
Yep.
So, honestly, fuck him. Yeah, fuck him for doing this.
There's no other way to put it. This is literally, obviously, you make a joke about gamer rights and freedoms or something, but it is an erosion of the market. It's an erosion of what's standard in the market. It's an erosion of consumer standards, and no one's standing up for the consumer whatsoever because the only people who have any power in the gaming market are the publishers. And they're the ones making all the money hand over fist.
Yeah, is PoE Mobile still a thing that they're trying to do?
Don't know.
Because it'll be very interesting. I just want to double check that wasn't cancelled or anything.
Yeah.
But, Path of Exile, it doesn't have the bullshit. PoE Mobile. Yes. No, it is. It is. Yeah, no, it does exist. So, it is being made. I just wonder what it'll be like comparing PoE Mobile to Diablo Immortal. Because hopefully PoE Mobile is able to come out. And I know the company's owned by Tencent, but it is Grinding Gear. And if Grinding Gear suddenly make a big evil thing, we'll definitely know something's up. But if PoE Mobile comes out and is basically just the not evil version of Diablo Immortal, then we're all going to know what's up, and it's going to be extremely embarrassing. Wait, what's this? Path of Exile plans to break major gaming industry stigmas with its mobile release.
It's not a whole pile to that, unfortunately. I actually just skimmed through that to see if maybe they were talking about, hey, here, we're not going to have any pay to win. But it is just kind of, hey, we've made a map system and we're going to think about average session times.
Okay, screw it. We're just going to have to wait and see. But I think that'll be a big upcoming point in comparison. And hopefully something we can clown on Blizzard for because Immortal's design deserves to be clowned on. That's it for this video. We'll do a video tomorrow. We did one yesterday. Check them out. Have a great day. See you next time.